you guys say we jump into a little who would win of the week here, maybe?
Do it,
Andy.
Yeah. Yep. Let's jump in.
You want to tee us up here, then, Andy?
Yeah. We were still coming up with an idea like a few hours before the show, and I was just sending Matthew like, you got to get those crazy ones out of you, like Gordon Ramsay versus a plate of overcooked scallops with a handgun. The lobster versus the baby alligator. That could actually. I saw a video of that actually, so that could be a good one. But you got to get the wacky ones out of there. And so then Mike had this brilliant idea that changed my life for the better, personally speaking. We threw it out to him like, do you have any, have any input? And he was like, yes, I've got the best input ever. The Other Guys versus 21 Jump Street. So it's Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg from The Other Guys versus Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum in the 2012 21 Jump Street movie. Both cop movies, both, hilarious
hysterical
movies.
Yeah. I just want to say,
Guys might be the funniest movie of like the last decade.
We'll get to. I have a lot of things to say, but before I even go there, yokes. I just want to say that Andrew was texting me saying that he was helping Mike get all his stuff set up for the podcast and whatnot, and signed in on our channel and whatnot. And I texted Andrew and said, "Beauty, ask him some who would win of the week ideas. He's funny." That's all I said. Andrew proceeds to send me 4 ideas that I didn't even read because I didn't. Yeah. Reply, and then eventually says, "Mike just sent me an absolute banger. Came up with the idea and says that one." And I was like, "See, I told you he was funny. I knew what I was talking about when we were putting him in that position." Side note again. The Other Guys is, yes, one of the most hysterical movies that I've ever seen. I watch that movie like once a month. Our hockey team quotes that movie more than probably any other movie because it's absolutely hysterical. So we've got some inside knowledge. Andy, how about you kick us off here with a little? What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup. It feels a little to me like 2 veteran guys going up a couple of rookies. Talented rookies, no doubt about it. But rookies nonetheless. So everybody's got their own skill set. But there's a few things that make it kind of tough for me to decide. I mean, I think I know who I'm going with already, but we gotta talk it out. Let's see. So I almost feel like Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill's characters. So I gotta look up the names because I actually don't remember what they are. But I feel like while that duo is willing to do anything to like accomplish what they need to do, because they're, and when you have like any buddy cop movie, the 2 guys gotta butt heads a little bit, right? But I feel like they are, in some ways, this might sound crazy, but a little less trusting of each other's ideas than Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg's characters in The Other Guys. And they kind of, because in The Other Guys, even though Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell have like different styles, they still are always doing things together. You know what I mean? Whereas in like the 21 Jump Street movie, both of them, you kind of have Jonah Hill's character Schmidt and Channing Tatum's character Jenko. Like they, during parts of the movies, they both like kind of do their own thing. You know what I mean?
In both movies, that's kind of the whole. That's kind of their whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like 22 Jump Street, because 21 is the one where Jonah Hill he like steals the show.
He becomes the actor. Yeah, and he's a cool kid.
He's the hero at the end, and then 22 is when Channing Tatum becomes the
Starts
hero.
playing football. Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
joins the
yeah, if
football
I'm
team.
thinking it's right during 21 Jump Street, where only Jonah Hill's like feeling hot, then I think the other guys got to take it because they're not afraid. Because Mark Wahlberg, what's his name, Terry Gamble, he's not afraid of anything. He'll shoot Derek Jeter. He doesn't get caught. So
He's a peacock.
he's
You just gotta let him fly.
So I think if you have to go after 21 Jump Street, I think it's got to be the other guys. Or no, yeah, the other guys. Because they can take Channing Tatum when he's down.
Yeah, I would say Channing Tatum's definitely a force to be reckoned with, though. But
That's a good point.
all my head can think about right now is the hysterical quotes from the other guys, like the scene where he's talking about how he's a lion and he's a tuna.
Oh yeah,
and,
spectacular.
Like the tuna,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just one of the funniest.
And
like
that's what
bickering
makes them
scenes
such a
of all
great team,
time.
I think.
Yeah, and also, actually, this actually should be a no-brainer, Andy. I don't know where your head's at. I know that sometimes you like to come at me just to get me fired up, but I agree with Mike that there's no way the other guys lose this fight because I didn't even consider the fact that Will Ferrell could go full pimp mode again and just become a savage.
That up, but yeah.
Yell America, hit that gas pedal on his Prius and do whatever the fuck,
For real, no.
Like
Gators
that's,
bitches better be wearing jimmies.
Yeah.
Using jimmies.
Yeah, if he's full pimp mode, that fight is over.
Yeah.
Because Marky Mark's easily taking out Channing Tatum. Because that's that, and then unless you have the mismatch of Jonah versus Mark and then Channing versus Will Ferrell. Because that's your mismatch, right?
Yeah. And those, I mean, those could go either way. Because obviously Jonah Hill is going to run. His character Schmidt is going to be running away from Terry, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
But there's also an unpredictable element to that. So you never know. But if they've got nowhere to go, then obviously Wahlberg takes Jonah Hill down. But Channing Tatum against Wahlberg, I don't. That's man. Yeah, Wahlberg. Just
Terry
takes that
Gant was
one.
pretty nimble on his feet. Have you seen his ballerina skills?
Damn, you're making a lot of
those
great
dance
points.
class skills. Nimble on his feet.
That is true. He has
Mike
the
has thought about this
dexterity
before
and the
several
power.
times.
Yeah, he's prepared. So he's got everything.
Why did
going
he do
for
that?
him.
Didn't he say he did that so he could bully the other kids?
Yeah. We just learned to dance so we could make fun of the kids who were dancing. But yeah, I think here's what puts me over is that you have Will Ferrell's character. He's got that. I mean, the tuna scene, right? The fact that he's got that analytical side of his brain. I mean, no matter what's getting thrown at him, he's gonna be able to figure something out, and I think he can be quick on his feet because even if he thinks of something, there's a good possibility that Terry's just gonna run in there guns blazing no matter what. And I do think that Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum's characters would be preparing more because they know that head on I don't think they'd be able to take him. So honestly,
But there's a
it's not so much the combo matchup that wins it that sends me to say that the other guys are going to take this. It's the straight up wild card that is Will Ferrell's character. Because like you guys said, he's got that Gator side. He's got that fucking, tax attorney side, basically, whatever that made him audit his parents when he was 8.
Yeah.
So there's
Scaffolding
nothing
permits.
that's
It's all
gonna
about
stop him.
scaffolding permits.
Yeah.
So I have a question though. Is there any situation where this turns into a shootout, or is it just a straight fight?
I think there's definitely potential for a shootout.
Because both movies have pretty intense shootout scenes in which I think that if it's a shootout, the 21 that is to the 21 Jump Street guys' benefit. I think that they want guns to be pulled because Mark Wahlberg, yeah, he might just go apeshit, start shooting everything, but Will Ferrell, he might not even have a gun still. We don't know. It could just be a piece of
have the
wood.
wooden gun or the rape whistle.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, and 21
I did
Jump
my
Street
first
guys
desk
aren't
pop. No, yeah, they've had a few good shootouts. They've taken bullets for each other. I've seen Channing Tatum jump onto a helicopter. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
They'll
Rock
do it
type
whenever.
shit.
They're in the middle of a park with some bikers. They'll pop off.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
afraid.
That's an interesting point. Firepower is definitely more of a factor, or that's more like 21 Jump Street. Firepower is a much larger part of their strategy in any situation than it is with the other guys. So I think, yeah, ultimately, because in the first 21 Jump Street, Jonah Hill's character has like a problem shooting. Like he can't pull the trigger, and he's like a terrible shot and stuff. But once he gets past that, like they use a ton of firepower in both of those movies. That's a big part of what they do.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So I think that in a shootout, not only is it
Think of
two
popping
21
each other's
Jump Streets-
assholes.
Exactly. So if it gets to that point,
Yeah, doesn't Jonah Hill at the end shoot Rob Riggle's takeoff?
he does.
Yeah.
He shoots
Yeah.
it right
Yep.
off. Which, how do you shoot the
Yeah.
shaft off without shooting the balls off as well?
You have to take the right angle. If he's laying side,
He wasn't laying sideways, though. He
laying
was
down.
standing up.
well, I mean, maybe he's just well hung and it was hanging past his testicles, and he shot low
And he just shot.
and just
he
like took like
Just took it. That's interesting.
yeah.
He'd have to have a pretty good sized guy on him. He'd have to have a pretty impressive
Yeah.
to
Well-
be able to do
well,
that. He'd have
baby-
to like,
a
be
baby's-
putting up Shaq numbers.
Some people call it a baby's forearm holding an apple.
Some people call it
That's
that.
yeah, yeah. Gary Coleman's forearm holding an apple. Yeah, that's what they say.
So I think
I
that
mean-
in a shootout, not only is it to 21 Jump Street's advantage, but they would win. But if it gets to just like a fist fight point of view, although I mean, because Jonah Hill, I mean, damn, Jonah Hill holds his own. I feel like, but he's also fighting like teenagers, and that's in the one scene where Jonah Hill like gets in on the action. Whereas Channing Tatum, his character, like they show he can, you know, when it comes to the combat stuff, he's got that pretty much on lock. But even when you have like Will Ferrell's character, like he's got a size. Like Will Ferrell is a tall guy, and he's not a small dude.
He's a big ass dude.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell is actually humongous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so is Channing Tatum, and he's athletic as fuck. You've watched him play Division I football for fun, even though he was like 10 years older than everybody on the field. He still did it. Something you have to consider.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm very
feel
distracted at this who would win of the week, strictly based off of how funny the other guys is. I can't stop thinking about it. That is a movie is so quotable, and I've quoted it so many times that it's the only thing on my brain is like how many different funny scenes there are.
My favorite part about that movie
And like
is
What? Little River Band.
no, that's hilarious. But my favorite part of that movie is Dirty Mike and the boys. And Dirty Mike has an Academy Award. That guy has an Oscar, and that blows my mind every time I watch that movie.
And you forget about you don't forget about it, but the Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock started the movie off 10 minutes in. They've only got 10 minutes, and they're just magical in every line they say.
That is one of the best openings to a movie ever, I think. Like that moment when they jump off the building at the beginning, that is so phenomenal. Like it lets you know like exactly what you're in for right away, but it's just right off the bat it's just so shocking, and it's like, oh, anything can happen in this movie.
Oh yeah, anything. But the scene that set it for me was when they're driving, trying to catch him, and the the drug guys shoot the light off their car. Samuel L. Jackson pulls out another one and puts it on top. That was just incredible.
Oh,
Who thinks of that? Like that was just wow. Like this movie's gonna be funny.
It's honestly, I mean, we could talk about the other guys like forever, because I swear to God, it probably is the funniest movie of the last.
When he's like, I appreciate all the paperwork you guys do for us so that we can, like, have sex with all the women we don't want to have sex with, like all that stuff. That's funny shit.
Good.
because I feel that.
We should lock in our answers on this one, though.
Yeah, we've been all aboard. I think in a fight situation, I am going with the other guys. If it does turn to firepower, I would have to take 21 Jump Street, but I think we usually side towards fighting rather than weapons, so I'm going to say the other guys on this one.
I'm going to go with the other guys as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lock in my answer for the other guys. I feel like I almost talked, like, that's who I had coming in. But I feel like I almost talked myself into 21 Jump Street for a second there. But if you look at it, I mean, just the dexterity and power that comes with Terry through his dancing and just his athletic ability, and then Gators, to use that name for him, his unpredictability. I mean, that takes it every time. There's no doubt about it. That's just the way it's got to be.
From the way they move, feel it. Well, we'll take it to social media.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I think that, I mean, I don't know if we've ever been unanimous on one pick before, especially when there's three of us. I know you and I have had a few occasions where we side together, but it is a good battle. But I think that, and just to touch on one more point, because like I said, I was getting distracted thinking about the other guys. 21 Jump Street, like those guys, Channing Tatum, or whatever, like that whole pair, whatever their names are in the movie, I can't remember.
Schmidt,
like they're just a little bit, yeah.
Jenko.
They're just a little bit goofier, right? Like they're kind of like goofy, like. And at the end of the day, and the other guys, when shit pops off, don't get me wrong, they do dumb shit, but like I think that they're like more dialed in. Like Terry's always fired up. I don't know. That's I guess that's probably why I side with the other guys ultimately. All right, well. That was, we'll leave it up to the people to decide.
The more you think about it, the more you think about this fight, the better of a fight it actually is.